बचपन से मैंने भगवान को सिर्फ एक ही चीज बोली थी कि मुझे सब जाने, मैं किसी को ना जानूं. One of the celebrities, Diljit Dosanjh, that how his manifestation works. He said that probably मेरे दिमाग में तो हो गया है, अब आप लोग को खाली देखना है. He is probably a very strong manifester or something about him. He's very positive, very come across very humble.
Everybody could change themselves by just reading a book, then we all would be transformed. Hello everyone, and my name is Dr. Ramon Lamba, an expert in the field of quantum physics and holistic wellness. Have you ever wondered what holistic wellness is all about? It's primarily integrating mental, emotional, spiritual and physical health.
Hi, welcome to Dr. D's podcast, and today we have Dr. Ramon Lamba, and we are going to talk all about life coaching, spirituality, and we are going to understand deep meanings of what healing is. So let's find out from Ramon. What is life coaching?
Well, when you understand the context of life, we come into this life without a manual, without a mandate. And अक्सर हम बहुत सारी गलतियाँ करते हैं. हमको स्कूल भेजा जाता है and we are taught maths, we are taught science, we are taught social studies, but none of that actually helps us in life. Life coaching is an engagement with an expert where it is a careful hand-holding to help you in three prime areas of life: health. And when we talk about health, we are talking about mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health. The second area is our relationships. हमको कोई बताता नहीं है relationships को कैसे perfectly lead करना है. And the third area is our money or our financial aspect, our professional aspect. So life coaching primarily is being a life doctor. In my last 3 decades of being a life coach, I have realized कोई भी problem जो जीवन में है ना, it can come on your table and you have to be well equipped to handle this.
Absolutely.
So in a very layman's term, a life coach is a life doctor who can help you navigate all the blockages of life.
Wow, very well said. In fact, मैं हमेशा से बोलती रहती हूँ, पूछती रहती हूँ इनफैक्ट कि सब चीज़ों की ट्रेनिंग हमें स्कूल में दी जाती है, पर एक पेरेंटिंग की, एक रिलेशनशिप्स कैसे निभाने हैं, एंड ऑफ कोर्स फाइनेंस एंड ऑल इज अ बिग थिंग, पर छोटी छोटी चीज़ें ये सारी बच्चे कैसे पालना है, रिलेशंस कैसे मेंटेन रखने हैं, एवरी डे लाइफ कैसे लीड करना है,
इमोशंस को कैसे मैनेज करना है,
इमोशंस को कैसे हैंडल करना है, एंड वी आर सो कंप्लीटली क्लूलेस अबाउट इट. I'm so glad that today we are going to talk all about it, and there's so much which I want to learn from you personally. So yeah, let's just take a deep dive into it. So Ramon, you are a life coach and you have helped many people. I personally know so many you have helped too, and they have spoken huge about you, that how their life changed, how the things which you teach in your classes they have been following, and they have noticed a lot physical changes in them by doing your emotional practices. So my question here is that when we talk about life coaching and spirituality and practices and everything, a lot of people, when it is not science, when you can't prove anything, they doubt. उन्हें लगता है क्या है, it's maybe एक foul play or some kind of practice which doesn't exist, and some kind of thing which is supposed to make money about. So how do you deal these kind of, basically how would you make them understand कि okay, these are the things which a life coach can help you, and actually there's something which exists. I mean, ठीक है, science doesn't say that, although science has a lot of proof on this aspect as well. What would you tell those people?
So Deepika, when you understand the paradigm now that we are living in, there's a lot of awareness, and people have begun to recognize that we are all spiritual beings, come here for a certain time on a journey. ये problem मुझे maybe 10 साल 15 साल पहले होती थी, right, where people did not have the awareness, so उनको explain करना पड़ता था that why the intervention of a life coach is important. Today, with all the information, we are living in a world of information, we are living in a world of knowledge, so this is not a very big challenge. However, when people do come on the table, they do doubt that what is the value we can bring to them.
Right.
At that moment, educating them is our first key focus, because I feel information leads to transformation. So giving them the right knowledge of who we are. Problem is, we don't even know who we are and why we are here, because we are living life so much on the outside, right? But ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है जीवन का? सो मैं एक एनालॉजी देती हूँ लोगों को. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हम स्कूल जाते हैं, राइट? और हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव था स्कूल जाने का कि हम फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड से सेकंड जाएंगे, थर्ड जाएंगे, वी लर्न आवर सब्जेक्ट्स एंड देन वील गो टू 12th एंड वील मूव आउट ऑफ स्कूल. ऐसे ही लाइफ इज ऑल्सो स्कूल. ये तो हमने सुना ही हुआ है, लाइफ इज अ स्कूल. So we come here with an objective to learn something, and our karmic blueprint, and we are carrying some karmic baggage. We come here to heal that. और जो हमारे रिश्ते होते हैं ना, वो हमारे सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं. और अगर हम उन सब्जेक्ट्स को नहीं पढ़ेंगे ना, वापस हम फिर फेल होंगे और वापस उसी क्लास में वापस आएंगे नेक्स्ट लाइफ टाइम में. सो बहुत ज़रूरी है लोगों को ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट देना दैट व्हाट वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ योर कमिंग इनटू दिस लाइफ. And today people are willing to embrace this, and they get the context of it, and they're super excited about actually engaging in this process.
And I think it's such an inside process as well, you know, when you ask this question to yourself, ki, what is the purpose of your life? Why are you here for? You know, what is your eventual goal? You just don't want to live like an animal ki paida hue and khatam ho gaye, you know, living like an animal, just fulfilling the basic needs. I think human body is also a very powerful body. The human mind is so powerful. You can make so many wonderful changes out of it, right? And you are, you know, an example who is helping so many people out there. But tell me, why life coaching? Like, why life coaching for you?
For me, I don't know. Like you said, the purpose. Our purpose is our dharma. Dharma is something we carry within our soul. Even before we are born, we sign a blueprint at the soul level of why am I going into this life. And the purpose starts with yourself first. So I started first healing my life, because we all have our own traumatic baggage as we're growing up. And as I found answers within my soul, I just realized that I wanted to give this gift to the world, something that I had found in myself. And at the age of 20, 21, I became so passionate about this subject that I wanted to understand life. I remember one phrase where I read in our one mantra, which I would chant, Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am the Brahma and the creator of my reality. But when you look into life, we are only the victims. So that took me deep into diving to recognize agar ye likha hua hai aham brahmasmi. Or another mantra which is one of my favorite, shivoham. That means I am the Shiva. But where is the Shiva in us? It's buried somewhere deep down. And like you said, hum ek animal instinct se hi jeevan jeete hain. So this passion to find out the divine in me, to move beyond my animal instinct, to move beyond the human instinct, to find divinity within me, was what drove me to here. And once I found that nectar inside me, I said, I want to give this light to the world now.
Wow. You know, also I feel, because you mentioned two mantras, which is Shivoham and Aham Brahmasmi. I believe, you know, Deepak Chopra, he does Aham Brahmasmi as well. So, but you know, when I read this mantra, although it felt very peaceful and calming myself, but the sad thing was I never understood the meaning of this mantra. I mean, sadly, we don't study Sanskrit anymore. I think, do you think that the awareness of our, because we don't understand Sanskrit, that's why we don't understand the meaning, and somehow mindlessly we chant, although I'm sure effects of the vibration we do absorb, but the meaning which we are chanting without a guidance, we don't get that meaning, you know, and we don't absorb the entire power of that energy.
Yeah, see, like I told you, transformation is a combination of information and experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have the right knowledge, it's very important to recognize that we all have a brain that wants the meaning of everything. And once we get the scientific meaning, logical, our brain is logically wired. Once our brain is fed with logic, right, it instantly acknowledges and accepts the vibration and the feeling of the mantra, and that becomes an auto-programmed memory, and you start believing in it, right? However, it's not about embodying the meaning. we are so programmed with all the trauma, and we are so programmed to be the victims of our reality, that momentarily we can experience that I am the Brahma or I am the creator, but we don't want to take on responsibility that ये जो नेगेटिव मेरी लाइफ में आ रहा है ना, वो मैंने ही क्रिएट किया है. अगर हम बोल रहे हैं हम ब्रह्मा हैं, तो नेगेटिव भी तो हम ही ने क्रिएट किया है ना. बट वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हम लेना नहीं चाहते, बिकॉज वी लव टू ब्लेम अदर पीपल, that what wrong is happening is because of them, but the good things that are happening are I'm creating it. So
yeah, I mean, definitely.
so ये education बहुत जरूरी है. जो भी आपके जीवन में हो रहा है ना, आप ही create कर रहे हो, good or bad, and recognizing and studying the science of it. And this is exactly where quantum physics comes into play, that teaches you the science of the unseen world, of how is it that you can be the Brahma, right? So marrying science and spirituality is a very intriguing and exciting part of this learning.
I mean, that's very interesting, because how quantum physics is completely embedded in our body, and each and our cells, they vibrate at a certain frequency, and hence the quantum physics is all in the picture. But I would like you to tell our audience a little bit about quantum physics, because it looks very dynamic and very fancy word, but I'm sure people would like to understand about a little bit कि ये फिजिक्स कहाँ से आ गया, स्पिरिचुअलिटी में फिजिक्स कहाँ से आ गया. तो just throw some light on quantum physics and spirituality, and how they are connected.
So when you understand life is either philosophy or physics. It can be nothing else. जो हम जीवन को देखते हैं, ये यूनिवर्स को देखते हैं, right? When you understand the first thumb rule fundamental principle of quantum physics is that the world of matter that we can see, ये जो दुनिया हमको दिखती है ना, it is only 0.000001% of matter. And there is 99.999999999% non-physical matter.
Wow.
Like for example, okay, हमारी soul है, वो दिखती नहीं है but है, right? But वो it's really there. It's like this electricity that's there but cannot be seen. So quantum physics is the science of the unseen reality. For example, हमारे emotions हैं, वो हैं पर दिखते नहीं हैं. हमारे thoughts, वो हैं पर दिखते नहीं हैं. हमारी soul भी है but दिखती नहीं है. So actually when you see, 75% of our existence is non-physical. That is creating a physical world. So in a very layman's world, quantum physics is the physics or the science of the unseen reality. And everything in the universe is energy, right? हम भी energy से बने, ये table भी energy से बना, ये cup भी energy से बना, the same energy. So when you understand this entire paradigm of the universe from the realm of energy, you recognize that बहुत कुछ है समझने के लिए, because the study of energy is physics.
Wow,
right?
It's just getting interesting, I feel.
It is crazy to act. It's like a rabbit hole. The more you go into it, the deeper it gets.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I say, it's so interesting. I would love to keep on listening to you, because as per my understanding also, that nothing, जैसे हमने science में पढ़ा है कि कोई चीज stagnant नहीं है. Everything is moving, right? Even though if you see the table, the cup, everything, because they are all made of molecules and it have a certain vibration. Everything is moving, but we are not able to see it, right? Hence our emotion, hence our visual and non-visual, everything is moving. That's why the vibrations come in the picture, that everything has certain vibration, every mantra has certain vibration. Every energy has certain vibration. You call it an aura or a vibration, and when the vibrational frequency matches to your goal, or where you want to be, then probably you are able to achieve that goal
or manifest it.
But what is the journey? Like, how can one go from vibrating to a situation at A level, say B level? How can one cross this? Let's say agar mera manifestation or my vibration is this B, where I want to be, but I am at A, and मैं बहुत कोशिश कर रही हूँ कि मैं B तक पहुँचूँ, अपनी चीजें manifest करूँ, but I'm not able to do. And then we feel, like you said, कि we tend to blame other, अरे वो ऐसा कर रहा है, वो ऐसा कर रहा है, इसीलिए मैं उस पे नहीं जा पा रही. Would you tell us something that how to increase our frequency, our vibration, and achieve that manifestation, our goal, what we want?
Great. So सबसे पहले तो recognize करना जरूरी. The first step for us to manifest something is creating a level of awareness
Hmm.
to recognize that मैं कहाँ पे हूँ, what is my location right now of, or what is my frequency, right? Most of us, we don't even go within, and we don't want to even analyze because we're so caught up in blaming the outside world.
Yeah.
The first step for us to move forward is to let go of some density or some matter that is pulling us back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is this matter? This matter is all the unprocessed energy that we've stored in our bodies, mentally, emotionally, that can be as simple as unforgiveness or anger or maybe fear or guilt. So, these negative emotions, what are emotions? Okay, emotions are energy in motion, emotion.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I like
So,
that. Yeah.
now, and energy is meant to be in motion, there has to be a momentum. अब हमने कुछ हमारी जीवन में हुआ और हमने उस एनर्जी को ट्रैप करके रखा हुआ है, इस एंगर को ट्रैप करके रखा हुआ है. अब वो एंगर मोशन में नहीं है. So then it stagnates inside our body and we become more like a table, solid. So we can't move forward into the timeline where our future is there. So the first step of moving forward is I recognize what is it that's holding me back to vibrate at this frequency of my future. Let's say if you've holding on to your past traumas, so you got to let that go, then there is more space for the new to come in. मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल दूं.
Yes, please.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल नो लेट्स से इस कमरे में बहुत सारा फर्नीचर है और मैं नया लेके आना चाहती हूँ. तो what is the only option? I will have to let go of the old to make place for the new. Right? Our body is the container of consciousness and energy. Right? हम अपनी बॉडी में सारा दुख दर्द जो भी 10 साल पहले हुआ, 5 साल पहले हुआ, उसको स्टोर करके रखते हैं एज मेमोरीज. और हम अभी नया लाना चाहते हैं बट उसमें स्पेस ही नहीं है बॉडी में. Right? So I have to let go of the old to welcome something new and become the future version. So that's the first game to recognize. And then obviously, the more I let go of the negative, the more I vibrate at the positive frequency and I can match the frequency of my future.
So basically identifying that, what is the furniture which you don't need.
Yeah, what is the old
what is
stuff,
that
yeah.
broken thing which you don't want. Being aware that where you want to go, finding your goal.
Yes.
And then working on that broken furniture, that emotion which you don't want, to remove it and then get new emotions, new furnitures in your room.
Yeah,
in
so
your
the first
body.
step is about recognizing the old trauma.
Yeah.
The second step is then now, बहुत ईजी होता है एक मेडिटेशन में, यू ट्यून इन टू योर फ्यूचर फ्रीक्वेंसी और आप ट्यून इन कर लेते हो. द प्रॉब्लम इज स्टेइंग देयर because something when we come back into our life, something pulls us back.
Exactly, we
right?
come back again.
So the second step is then we have to involve our brain. Now our brain only functions on memory and on addiction. These are the two fundamental things that our brain functions on. So the second step is now I have to memorize my future because based on my memory, my thoughts are being created, right? And once I memorize my future, what I want to manifest, and I get addicted to it, then automatically the universe, my vibration changes, my frequency changes, and the universe starts aligning things and magic starts happening.
Wow. In fact, this makes me just share an incident that how one of the celebrity, Diljit Dosanjh, he's about to perform in Delhi as well.
Yeah.
So how he says that how his manifestation works. I think कई मैंने सुना था वो कह रहा था कि आप ये जिमी फैलन के शो में जाओ. तो he said that probably I'm very sure that किस इंसिडेंट पे इसने बोला था, but what he said that मेरे दिमाग में तो हो गया है, अब आप लोग को खाली देखना है. He always say this कि मेरे दिमाग में हो चुकी हैं चीजें, अब आप देखोगे. So I think some kind of statements he gives which feels that okay, he's probably a very strong manifester or something about him. He's very positive, very come across very humble. And when you listen to his interviews, it's very mesmerizing how he says that, in fact he says that बचपन से मैंने भगवान को सिर्फ एक ही चीज बोली थी कि मुझे कोई ना जाने, नहीं मैं सबको. Yeah, I'm saying the opposite. मुझे सब जाने, मैं किसी को ना जानूं. And that child manifested his dream. I think शायद probably ऐसा ही होगा. So do you think that like for a guy like Diljit Dosanjh, he also might be, it's something about vibrations or something about of his continuous working on his emotions. Do you think any kind of things
See, I'll
would
tell
be?
you one thing. I believe the more innocent you are,
Yeah.
the more pure you are, our core nature is vibration, manifestation.
Yeah.
We are all manifesting machines. Problem is, we start doing wrong karma. We start holding on to past. So the more you let go, like in Punjabi, say mitti pao.
Mitti
जो भी हो
pao.
मिट्टी पाओ,
Yeah.
आगे बढ़ो. Because your job is to focus only on your goals and your future. So the innocence really matters. And I feel with Diljeet Dosanjh, when I look at his energy, he's a very playful, very innocent.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has any negativity in his heart that he's holding on to.
Yeah,
So then you're
absolutely.
just a pure, vibrating, manifesting machine.
But how can one at that position be like this? I really wonder, because we get so much worked up sometimes. Although every soul is born innocent. It's the journey which makes you the person you are, the experiences, the life lessons. But being so like him, like you're saying, so innocent and bubbly and always with big huge vibrations, I feel it's so hard. So I'm sure there must be some working going on his personal, like on him, which is bringing him to bringing out these vibrations. That's
Of
what
course,
we are
I'm
able
sure
to
we
see.
all, like I said, we all need someone to show us the path, and we all need a mentor. Today, Sachin Tendulkar is Sachin Tendulkar because he has a coach. So we need someone, and maybe there's some working behind it. I would agree with that, because because sometimes it doesn't even occur to us that हमको forgive करके past को जाने दो. Because we're so caught up in the past that we cannot focus on the future. And when you understand the human brain, okay, we have something called a focus point. And we can only focus on one thing at a time. And energy flows where focus goes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm focusing on my past, where is all my energy going?
Yeah.
On my past.
Yeah.
So then I can't create future. So it's very important for me to really shut the doors of the past and move into the future version that I'm dreaming. Another fun, interesting thing about quantum physics is the particle wave duality.
Okay, what
which
is that?
states that energy can exist as a particle and a wave at the same time.
Oh, wow.
What is particle? Particle is solidified matter.
Yeah.
Energy is unmanifested energy. So that means, for example, I, as a Ramon Lamba, as a physical body, I am a particle right now in this time and space. But there is another version of Ramon Lamba out there in the quantum field who's existing like a waveform.
Like a
as a
paradigm.
possibility. Yeah, as a possibility. Now, the game of manifesting a wave, from a wave to making a particle, is observation. So when I start focusing on that Ramon, I bring her back into this paradigm, creating a particle out of her and becoming a reality. That is purely manifestation. I don't know if it's making sense, because
No, I mean, it does make sense to me, because I watched the Spider-Man coming home and so many, I mean, some of the series where they played with paradigm shifts and, how
Absolutely.
parallel world exists at the same time. And there was also a movie called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yes,
That was an amazing watch. So I do understand this, what you're trying to say, and it completely makes sense also, that you are existing at one, you are existing at multiple places at one time. So if one place you have cancer, for an example, you were just sharing at the before we begin our podcast, you were just sharing something that okay, one phase में अगर आपको cancer है और दूसरे paradigm में नहीं है, so just imagine that.
Focus on that.
Focus on that paradigm.
That version of you, that's a healthy version.
Yeah.
So automatically your cells, see, please understand, your cells are very innocent. They only pick up commands from what you tell them. जो भी आप बोलते रहोगे ना, like a tape recorder, आपका cells, your brain is picking up that command and producing that chemistry in your body. So if I keep saying, मुझे पेन है, मुझे पेन है, मुझे पेन है, पेन का केमिकल प्रोड्यूस होके पेन बड़ी होगी.
बिल्कुल.
So when people come to me with pain, I tell them,
Hmm.
okay, I understand you have pain. Now let's focus on one part of your body that's healthy,
Hmm.
and start then believing that you're healthy, healthy, healthy. So the healthy chemicals will start healing your pain.
Yeah, it's all tricking your brain.
It's all, yeah, like I tell them, your brain has no brain.
Yeah, oh my
So
God,
उसको,
I love that
but उसको
statement.
बिल्कुल बेवकूफ बना दो. Right?
Yeah.
And see the game, how it changes then.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. But, there's a catch here also. Okay, so I read a book I was discussing with you that breaking the habit of being yourself by
Yeah.
Joe
Joe
Dispenza,
Dispenza.
right? And I believe you have done a lot of,
Training and
coaching
mentoring with him,
under
yes.
him, right? So that book complete makes sense because ठीक है आप एक सोचते हो okay now today I'm going to do this, today I would be doing this, or maybe after years or months and months you have set yourself to become something and suddenly some emotion from the past come up and everything आप भूल जाते हो कि क्या आपने अपने को train किया and you fall back to the same old loop of being a victim. And this book speaks about that how you can break it and how you can come out of that chain. Although I did some practices about this book, I did follow something, but still I find that so many times I come back to the old loop of being that
Old version.
old Deepika, maybe the 9 years old Deepika again, so many incidents. So how does one can jump out of that loop and make a complete new paradigm for themselves?
So, no, we can't jump out of that loop till we have not gone back and integrated that past version into our current reality. What does that feel like? So, when we come into this planet, okay, and we live a life. Let's say you've lived your life from 0 to 30 years. Now we go through certain times of traumatic experiences in our life. Now, every time we are going through trauma, we end up rejecting certain parts of ourselves and we leave them there.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when I was a little child and maybe I felt an experienced rejection, I innocently picked up a belief that I am not loved and rejected. So I left a part of me there when I was 5 years old, wounded, emotionally wounded. There's something called emotional wounds, which is caused by trauma. And I leave that part of me that believes that I'm not loved, I leave it there and I grow up. Now, as I'm growing up, I pick up something called coping mechanisms because I want to be loved and accepted.
Correct.
But
Wear a mask.
my internal belief is I will not be loved because I was rejected. So then I wear a mask of a people pleaser. I start giving overcompensating with my friends so that they love me. Now, when I want to break that habit, I first have to go back to when I was 4 years old and when the rejection happened, and I have to embrace that part of me because that is a piece of my soul that I fragmented and I left it behind. It's energy, right? And it's unprocessed energy.
Wow.
Now, till I don't go and get her back, right, I cannot move into the future because agar main future jaungi bhi na, I might stay there for 4 or 5 days and this version that is dense, it's negative, it's wounded, it'll pull me back. And then I end up being a victim. So the entire journey of moving forward is first integrating all of the past versions of me that I divorced as I was growing up. We end up just divorcing parts of us to fit into people's world, right? And that becomes a little bit dangerous for us.
And how do you do that?
That needs a therapeutic intervention, and that's where life coaches, therapy, and hand-holding comes into play. Everybody could change themselves by just reading a book, then we all would be transformed.
Absolutely.
And you need someone, like till date, I have a mentor, and when I'm going through trauma, I need someone to integrate it for me. We all need someone, right? And that is exactly the role of a life coach, to take you back into all of those incomplete versions of you and bring them back, right? Like, for example, okay, look at anger or look at fear. It's a normal human emotion. Now, a small 2-year-old child or a 3-year-old child is feeling fear. अब उस बच्चे के लिए तो नॉर्मल है fear feel करना. So he comes to his mother and says, "मम्मा डर लग रहा है." Now what will mama say? बेटा तुम तो strong हो, कुछ भी नहीं है, डरते नहीं हैं. But fact क्या है, बच्चे के लिए डर लग रहा है. Now the child picks up a belief कि जीवन में अगर ये feeling आएगी ना, किसी को बताओ मत, because मम्मी validate नहीं कर रही है feeling. So we start then divorcing our fearful side. Now, the whole idea is any energy that's left unprocessed will keep troubling us for the rest of our life, and we'll end up feeling fear, feeling fear, feeling fear. We are told at a very small age, बेटा गुस्सा नहीं करते, अच्छी बात नहीं है. बट फिर हम देखते हैं माँ बाप गुस्सा कर रहे हैं, वो खुद आपस में गुस्सा कर. सो इट्स अ वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग इमोशन कि करना है या नहीं करना. बिकॉज मुझे बोला जा रहा है गुस्सा मत करो, पर मम्मी पापा तो गुस्सा कर रहे हैं. Now we end up divorcing our angry version, and that's a wounded version hidden in our subconscious mind, and that becomes an auto-programmed behavior. So anybody has to come and touch us and we'll go boom like a time bomb and we get angry or fearful. So the whole game is I got to go back to those wounded parts of me and integrate those, heal them and integrate them. According to Carl Jung's psychological beliefs, these are called our wounded shadows, a wounded dark side.
Which follows us.
They are like parts of you that are hidden in a jail and they are in pain, and you are not healing them and they don't have a safe outlet, so they'll keep troubling you for the rest of your life. तो यहाँ पे तुम कुछ अच्छी बुक पढ़ के फ्यूचर बने, ये वाले जो जेल में आपके अनहील्ड वर्जन है वो आपको खींच लेंगे बाहर. So first step is go and heal and integrate all of the wounded parts of you first. Then they will, as a collective energy, help you move forward and integrate into future timeline.
You know, wow, I feel that कहाँ से working शुरू करो, because somehow, you know, parents, nobody does it intentionally, right?
No, it's not intentional.
I think it's a basic knowledge which everyone needs to understand, that how you cannot pass like your fear trauma to your child by healing yourself first. You know, and I think वो generation पे वो चीजें चलती जाती है, because you have passed, like you shared, you know, anger and the fear thing to your kids. They have observed something and now they are going to follow it and pass it to their generation. So it is crazy. So how does one reverse work now?
First of all, you know what, I'm really impressed about the current timeline where parents and the current generation is becoming very self-aware. How to reverse what we've done, the mistakes we've done in the past is a process again of healing again, past healing. Like I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say आप एक हाईवे में जा रहे हो,
Right.
आप दिल्ली से चंडीगढ़ जा रहे हो, ठीक है? Let's say for example 300 किलोमीटर का रास्ता है. अब आप निकल गए 150 किलोमीटर पर, जब पहुंचते आप रियलाइज करते हो मैंने यार 50 किलोमीटर में एक बैग गलती से छोड़ दिया. Right?
Correct.
So you have a choice to go back and pick up that bag. Simple example. Yeah. So similarly हमारा जीवन भी एक हाईवे है. हम आगे चलते जाते हैं, बट जो भी ट्रॉमा या जो भी अनप्रोसेस्ड मेमोरीज हैं वो पास्ट में रह गई हैं उसी हाईवे पे. So at any moment you have a choice to go back and pick up the unprocessed, unhealed versions of you and bring them back into this timeline. So there are lots of modalities available like past life therapy, integrative breathwork sessions that really help you go back and go to the root of what you're suffering right now. To the extent with Reiki, I am a hardcore fan of Reiki because I realized I got pregnant for my kids when I was very young. I became a mother when I was 20 and 21. And unknowingly, जो भी trauma मेरे साथ हुआ, मैंने अपने बच्चों के साथ किया, right? And they also say almost 50% of your programming is done when you're in your mother's womb. And I used to be a very angry person. So that tick, 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 all of that when I was carrying my children. But with the Reiki healing, the symbols of Reiki, I have healed every single emotional memory that I may have implanted in my children's cellular memory when they were in my womb. And it's possible. You have to, it's a very committed journey. For me, if I talk about my life, Deepika, my last 30 years, today I'm 52, right? I started my self-healing journey at 20. 32 years, till date, I'm healing and I don't want to give up. And for me, this is self-love, where I just am committed. मुझे और कहीं नहीं जाना, कुछ नहीं करना. जहाँ पे देखती हूँ थोड़ा कचरा है ना, बच्चों में है, मुझ में है, साफ करो. Healing tools, सीखो. हम क्यों नहीं सीख सकते? We're living in a world of information today. सब कुछ available है.
And what about your peer group? Let's say, you know, of course everyone loves to meet new people, socialize, make new friends, and somehow you are working on certain vibration or working on yourself to improve yourself, but your peer group is not, the social group is not, but every day, every week or every month you're meeting to them and having the old conversations. Now the situation is, or maybe your relatives or maybe anyone whom you cannot avoid, you have to be there. So how to bulletproof yourself ki you're not getting affected by their emotion and still leading your journey the way you want.
So Deepika, it's very important to recognize that your tribe can create your vibe. Or your vibe can create your tribe.
Right.
That is the theory of
Either
entrainment
way.
we were talking about,
Yeah.
right? So, आपने पुराने ज़माने में ये बात सुनी होगी that keep everybody at an arm length, right? Why arm length? Because यहाँ पे हमारी auric field है. 4 feet away from our body is a aura energy field. और जो भी उसके अंदर आएगा ना, वो अपनी energy से हमारी energy को impact करेगा. Right? The first thing is drawing healthy boundaries is very, very important. That means ये मेरी energy boundary है, and I am going to seal this up so that your negative energy cannot come into my energy. गलती उनकी नहीं है, गलती किसी की भी नहीं है. Let's say, for example, you and I are friends,
Right.
okay? And I do my meditation and my aura is vibrating at a very high space. And आज के दिन आपको गुस्सा आया होगा. And I meet you and I don't have a boundary. Now right now also when we are sitting, your energy field, your aura and my aura are interacting. Right? Because energy always interacts.
Right.
If I don't have an energy boundary, unknowingly, I may take on your anger and I go back home and I'll just feel angry and I don't know why I'm angry. That's how energy is so sensitive. And it's really important to maintain healthy boundaries. I remember one of my gurus and my coaches training me one day, because I used to be a very over friendly person, oversensitive. So I would carry all the baggage of my friends back home.
Right.
So they told me, and I also tell my students, आप ना अपने घर के बाहर ना एक imaginary parking lot बना दो. जैसे घर के अंदर आओ ना, अपने सारे फ्रेंड्स को वहां पे पार्क करके आ जाओ घर के अंदर. Don't carry them back home. Because the outside world is an entertainment world, but the true world is your own core relationships. You've come here as karmic group souls, your siblings, your parents, your in-laws, your spouse, your children. They are the ones that you need to really be intertwined with, because you have a karmic blueprint signed up with them. बाहर की दुनिया वो entertainment के लिए है, वो entertainment के लिए अच्छे हैं.
But what about, Ramon, some people have these challenges also with their, close relations as well. They face a lot of challenge. What about them?
That's the goal. They've come here to heal that karma with them, right? देखो, हमने तो ये सुना ही हुआ है, जीवन में जो भी देते हो वो वापस आता है. तो अगर वो challenge मिल रहा है तो कहीं ना कहीं किसी जीवन में उन्होंने दिया होगा ना इनको. So that's where the training and that's where the life coaching comes into play, where I make people responsible. अगर ये वापस आ रहा है ना, ये कहीं ना कहीं मैंने दिया इनको. Right? I remember Sister Shivani का एक example, because she often comes to our center at Golden Age. तो वो बहुत beautifully कहती है, life is a game of white balls and black balls.
Okay.
बहुत simple है. आप black ball दोगे तो black ball आएगा.
अच्छा.
White ball दोगे तो white ball आएगा. ठीक है?
Okay.
अब मान लो आपके क्लोज रिलेशनशिप में आपका ब्रदर, सिस्टर, हस्बैंड, वाइफ, मदर, फादर या इवन मदर इन लॉ फॉर दैट, वो अगर आपको ब्लैक बॉल दे रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स आपने कहीं ना कहीं ब्लैक बॉल दिया है उनको, मे बी पिछले जन्म में. तो ये जो ब्लैक बॉल दे वो आपका ब्लैक बॉल है जो आपने दिया था और वो इनकम्प्लीट था. तो अब आप क्या करो, ब्लैक बॉल ले लो, साइड पे रखो, उनको व्हाइट बॉल दो. अगले पल में क्या आएगा आपको? व्हाइट बॉल. सिंपल. बट उस लेवल तक जाने के लिए, इमोशनल और मेंटल लेवल तक जाने के लिए ट्रेनिंग चाहिए होती है, बिकॉज ईगो बीच में आ जाता है, गुस्सा आ जाता है, बिकॉज हम वी आर ट्रेन टू बी विक्टिम्स. सो अगर ये सिंपल सी, मैं कहती हूँ आप वाइट बॉल देते रहो ना, कोई आपको ब्लैक बॉल दे रहा है, आप ले लो, रखो साइड पे, ले लो, रखो. एक दिन लाइफ आपको वाइट बॉल्स देनी शुरू कर देगी एंड फिर किक मिलता है गेम का.
Very nicely explained, I must say.
Yeah.
What is inner engineering? What is that? अंदर की इंजीनियर करना, what is it?
Well, the name itself, states it that हम खुद को अंदर जाके इंजीनियर करें. आपने एक गाने में ये लिखा हुआ है ना, जीवन एक दर्पण है. What does it mean? That life is only a mirror. And now even quantum physics, right, has proven it that the field outside is just like a mirror, right? Which is reflecting what's inside me, what's inside my cellular memories, what's inside my subconscious mind, what's inside my thoughts and feelings. इसका मतलब क्या है, राइट? मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल दूंगी ये समझाने के लिए.
जी.
आप एक पिक्चर देखने जाते हो और आप बिल्कुल गांव से आए हो और आपको पता ही नहीं ये मूवी कैसे चलती है.
हाँ.
तो जैसे आप सीट पे बैठते हो, आप खाली स्क्रीन देखते हो ना, तो जब पिक्चर शुरू होती है आपको लगेगा कि स्क्रीन के पीछे एक्टर एंड एक्ट्रेसेस आए हैं, राइट? बट रियलिटी वो नहीं है. स्क्रीन में नहीं आ रहे हैं एक्टर एक्ट्रेसेस, पिक्चर कहीं पीछे से चल रही है एक प्रोजेक्टर में.
करेक्ट.
Right? So, life is also like this. The field outside is just a white screen, and our inner self is the projector, जहाँ पे रील चल रही है और हम प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं. And life is reflecting back what we are projecting. So, inner engineering एक process है जहाँ पे मैं अंदर जाके with inner awareness I recognize that अगर ये reflect हो रही है लाइफ में तो ये मैं कहीं ना कहीं प्रोजेक्ट कर रही हूँ, दे रही हूँ. Then if I don't like the movie of my life, rather than wiping the mirror or changing the screen, I go within and I change the movie inside through by changing my thoughts,
hard disk change karo.
by changing my memories, by healing my trauma.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the most elegant form of self-love. That whatever is coming back on the screen outside is I take responsibility. ये projector मैं ही हूँ. हमारा mind एक projector है. Which has stored memories of lifetimes we are carrying. The memories of everything that happened in my mother's womb, it's stored in my subconscious mind. So मैं project करती जा रही हूँ, life reflect करती जा रही है, right? And हमको पता ही नहीं चलता. Inner engineering starts with a sense of self-awareness and responsibility that जो भी बाहर reflect हो रहा है ना, वो मैं कहीं ना कहीं project कर रही हूँ. बड़ा मजा आता है then.
Yeah. And also I feel जो बाहर प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हो उसकी भी अवेयरनेस होना कि आप बाहर प्रोजेक्ट क्या कर रहे हो, आप दिखा क्या रहे हो, उसमें से कौन सी चीज आपको क्या इफेक्ट कर रही है. आई थिंक whatever you're doing उसका इफेक्ट आपको क्या है. Again, all boils down to emotions, that noticing your emotions strongly, having a emotional IQ is so important to understand कि okay, this emotion needs to be healed, or if I'm reacting to certain situation on an A way or an XYZ format, and I don't like that reaction after some time, then maybe
it's my
look
stuff.
Inside, find out what is the reason.
One of my mentors, Debbie Ford, she's not alive anymore, and I trained with her for shadow work, right? She very rightly put it that if something outside you is informing you, then it's not something you need to process. But if something outside you is triggering you or triggering a reaction in you, and you're becoming angry and you're judging it and you're having a very triggered charge to it, then that needs to be engineered because it's an unhealed emotion inside you. You understand?
Yeah.
Like an example देती हूँ. Let's say if I see someone lying, एक state of awareness है कि ठीक है झूठ बोल रहा है, उसकी मर्जी, उसका कर्म है, and I'm not triggered by it.
Right.
But then there's another state where I look at a liar and I get triggered and I start judging them and I start fighting and I have this big emotional charge.
Yeah.
That is something I need to go and process and I need to engineer within myself because that is an unhealed, wounded part of me that is happening there and I'm seeing there.
Yeah. And also somebody या तो आपको कोई बताए, or you have that much knowledge to understand कि okay, this is something which is not usual, this is something, because a lot of time when we talk about narcissism and various things, that how they became narcissist is because of their past life trauma, because somebody has behaved in that way with them, and that's how people have turned into narcissists. But so many times when you see that the narcissist person does not even realize कि they are narcissist, so I think वो awareness होना कि okay, this trigger which is happening, it's not normal, it is not normal. I mean, considering everything normal कि ठीक है, this is the way I am, you take it or leave it, is not the situation. I think there also probably a inner working or inner engineering comes in a picture, and a life coach basically comes in a picture, that who can tell you okay, look inside yourself and find the problem and work on that problems, then only you can make a healthy relation or come out of it, so nicely and strongly, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the first step, like I told you previously, is a level of self-awareness. And the first step is we start the self-awareness journey through breathing and through meditation, concentration. So just say, for example, okay, you just start chanting a mantra,
Yeah.
any mantra,
Yeah.
which is your favorite mantra, and you chant it, it activates your third eye. Now, your third eye is designed as a sixth sense for you to go within and start seeing. So suddenly the third eye gets activated and the light goes on inside. Otherwise हम आंखें बंद करते हो अंदर अंधेरा है तो दिखता ही नहीं है कि क्या साफ करना है मुझे, right? So the first step is mantra chanting, meditation or breath work starts creating an inner level of awareness. एक टाइम आता है कि जो भी बाहर हो रहा है ना आपको दिखता है ये मेरे अंदर ही है, and you just need to clean it and engineer yourself. That is a very powerful game. And my role as a life coach is to first make people self-aware and responsible for what is showing up in their life.
Yeah, you cannot change the world, change yourself, the world will automatically
Yes,
change.
because again, the world is only a reflection of your inner state.
Yeah, very well said. So, Ramon, in our podcast, we do take some audience questions. So, here we have our team, and they generally pick up the questions. They will ask you the questions which has come up from the audience.
Hello, my name is Palak, and my question is why acceptance is important.
Well, like we just spoke, that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. And the universe or people treat us just the way we treat ourselves. So how can anybody love and accept us when we've not loved and accepted ourselves? See, because when I'm judging myself for being something, then I'm sending out a frequency or broadcasting a frequency into the field of that particular judgment. Then people sense my vibes that I'm judging myself and they end up judging me. So when I really learn to love and accept myself for who I am, I'm broadcasting this vibration of self-love, self-acceptance, and they end up loving me. And we all want to be loved and accepted. That's our core first expectation from life. So self-acceptance is the key to be accepted.
Lovely.
Hi, my name is Gayatri, and my question is how to overcome procrastination.
Well, when you understand procrastination is it's a way of our subconscious mind keeping us safe, right? What does that mean? Like I said, as children we pick up core beliefs about ourselves, and we evidently pick up a belief that we are failures and we will fail in life when we do certain things. So when we grow up, we all want to enthusiastically achieve something, but this voice inside our brain is always pulling us back saying, chhod yaar, kal karenge. Procrastination. Because our brain is fearing failure at that moment. So the only way to overcome procrastination is to go to your subconscious mind and deal with the belief and a memory. Like I can give you a very quick example.
Yes, please.
Right? Like I grew up with a belief that main moti hoon. Right? That was my core belief because I picked it up from my environment.
Right.
Now, when I grew up, I want to become thin. But in my subconscious mind, there is a core belief, tum mote ho. Right? So, my conscious mind puts up a thing that I want to become thin. So, tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. Right? So, I wake up in the morning, I'm wearing my shoes and andar se chhod yaar, kal jate hain. You know why? Because our subconscious mind wants to preserve its belief. And what is the belief? Tum mote ho. Now, to overcome that, we have to first go into the core belief and then become bigger than the belief. So at that moment, I have to become my policeman. अंदर से जब आवाज आती है, छोड़ यार, कल करते हैं, policeman बन जाओ, बोलो चुप कर तू, बकवास बंद कर, अपने mind को बोलो.
Devil in our
Yes,
head.
it is. Because वो अंदर की आवाज को आपको recognize करने की खुद रोक रहा है. और ये, this is only an example in my gym thing, but हर पल, right? ये आवाज आ रही है जो हमको खींच रही है, हम उस आवाज की बात सुन लेते हैं. So मैं बोलती हूँ उस वक्त अपना पुलिसमैन बन जाओ, बोलो तू चुप कर जा, मैं करूंगी. 3 दिन अगर आपने उस आवाज को चुप कर लिया ना, 4th day it becomes a habit, and you have a new habit, and you have to overcome these negative voices in your head.
Oh, that's nicely explained.
My name is Rohan, and I wanted to ask how can therapy support us in setting achieving goals, personal goals?
Right. So देखो हम सबके पास गोल्स होते हैं, हर एक बंदा प्रोग्रेसिव होता है
Hmm.
एंड वो आगे जाना चाहता है, बट अगेन what is pulling you back is your inner voice or the inner demons.
Mhm.
और हम सबके अंदर एक चोर है और एक आवाज, एक लेजी सेल्फ है जो हमको खींच रहे हैं हमारे गोल से, दैट्स टेलिंग यू यू कैन नॉट डू इट.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you my example. We have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is the one that's making the goals.
Mhm.
So I wanted to be really wealthy and rich. But in my subconscious belief, I had poverty consciousness, for example. So every time I want to move forward towards my goal that wants to make me rich, my subconscious belief pulls me backward.
Mhm.
So, and then मेरा goal गोलमोल बन के रह जाता है, right? So the first thing is I recognize what is it in my subconscious mind that's pulling me, and I have to align the voice of my conscious and my subconscious mind. And that requires some reprogramming. That means अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ मुझे X amount achieve करना है, मेरी अंदर की आवाज भी मैच करनी चाहिए उस अमाउंट से. Like a full body yes,
Yeah, believe भी रखो.
belief,
people.
yeah. Because होता क्या है ना, कभी कभी हम बोलते हैं आई एम अ मिलियनर एज एन एफर्मेशन,
Exactly.
अंदर से आवाज आती है चल फुक रहे.
हाँ कि मिलियन कहाँ से
मिलियन कहाँ
आएगा?
से वो अलाइन नहीं, वो मिस अलाइंड है ना, तो हम गोल से पहुंच ही नहीं पाते हैं.
Yeah. So is
So-
it like छोटे गोल बनाने चाहिए या फिर भी करोड़
Yes.
दे?
No, that's
Okay.
why I say, let's say for example,
Realistic.
आज आपकी सैलरी 5 लाख पर मंथ है, तो आप नेक्स्ट गोल ना 6 लाख बनाओ, आपका ब्रेन बिलीव करेगा, आपका सबकॉन्शियस बिलीव करेगा. एकदम से एक 5 लाख का आप 50 लाख बना दोगे, अंदर से वो बोलेगा झूठा है,
हाँ.
कैसे होगा, कहाँ से होगा, फियर आना शुरू हो जाता है,
Yeah.
वो हो ही नहीं पाएगा.
हाँ.
So progressive small goals take you to your bigger goals. So
Okay.
the key is, देखो अगर आप स्टेप 5 पे हो ना तो स्टेप 6 पे फोकस करो. हम पता है क्या करते हैं, स्टेप 5 से ना स्टेप 20 पे पहुंच जाते हैं, और इस रास्ते में एलिवेटर तो है ही नहीं, ना ही एस्केलेटर है, सीढ़ियां हैं, तो तुम 5 से 20 पे कैसे पहुंचोगे? 5 से 6 पे जाओ, 6 पे 7 पे जाओ. सो स्मॉल प्रोग्रेसिव गोल्स विल टेक यू टू योर बिगर गोल्स.
Nice. Okay, thank you so much. It was a lot of insightful. We learned so much, and I'm sure our audience are going to listen and learn and take notes from our today's podcast. Once again, thank you so much. And just I want you to give a final, words for closing the show today, so that we can end the show.
All I want to say is thank you for having me over, Deepika. And I was truly impressed when I read about your book, The Health Cocktail. And I think you're doing great work. And for me, interacting with someone like you was a big pleasure. I just want to leave everybody with one note. You come into this life to upgrade yourself. So don't stop investing in yourself mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, because the universe will invest in you only if you invest in yourself. Because I've seen a lot of people, they're rich by money, but they're very poor by spiritual, mental, and emotional wisdom. So you are a project. Keep working on yourself till your last breath.
Lovely. So, on that note, we are going to close the show, and just remember, keep working on yourself continuously. Take tiny baby steps and reach towards your goal. And listen to this podcast multiple times, whatever way you can. If you want to reach us, you can always like, share, and comment, and share this podcast to somebody whom you feel that can help. And definitely share it as much as possible, because it's all about loving yourself. Thank you so much.